Will Howard Stark be forced to work for the Maker, or will he find the courage to strike back and rescue this new world from his tyranny? Well, let's hop into the pages of Ultimate Invasion issue number 3 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we open up on this new issue, we're at the funeral of Obadiah Stane. A depressed and despondent Howard Stark begins to get his drink on as young Tony is filled with questions about what happened in Latveria. Apparently, when those future clones attacked, there was a 2-day media blackout, meaning that Howard is actually one of the few people in the known world who actually does know what's going on out there. For the answers to those questions and more, though, we end up flashing back. It seems that after Obadiah's death and after the Maker made his offer to Howard on helping him fix the Immortus engine, Howard was actually given the opportunity to meet with the other delegates from the other nations, those hand-chosen by the Maker himself, to guide their own territories. They're not really countries as you and I would assume them to be. Instead, they're something else completely. Howard is actually feeling really awkward amongst this group of people because, as we discover, it was actually Obadiah who would do all these meetings for him, and honestly, Howard was a lot happier not knowing how the geopolitical sausage got made. Now he's getting a crash course, though. Now, a lot of the players we met before in the previous issue, but there's some new faces, too. There's DaCosta, always a major player no matter what the universe, this world's answer to Captain Britain, who is actually the leader of the entire European Union, possessing both the Amulet of Right and the Sword of Might. Hell, even the Egyptian god Ra and the moon god Khonshu make their appearances known. They're really annoying to speak to because only one talks depending on whether the sun or moon is out at the time. It's Magic who actually breaks most of the awkward silences, saying that they need to get who's responsible for attacking them and the Maker and make them pay. It's here that Howard ends up doing a little bit of a faux pas, when he implies that the Rasputins and the Russians are the enemy of everyone, only for the Hulk, who is a calm religious leader in this universe, to step on in and educate him on a couple things. You see, as Grey Hulk puts it, there are no enemies in this room. Everyone is working together. Oh, sure, they trade off every so often who has the mantle of a rogue nation, and then every generation or so they change it around, and said former rogue nation spends a while doing performative acts of contrition, but always an enemy there must be, someone that the populace can be united in their hating. It was the Maker's idea, of course. He came to the realization after running simulations on several different societies that at the end of the day, despite how much the populace asks for it, none of them can really handle peace. Humanity just gets bored way too easily. They want to feel that their decisions matter, and that's kind of hard to do during peaceful times. But hey, when everyone can get together and hate someone, then suddenly it all feels like a team sport, and with the populace properly distracted, the Maker and his people, the enlightened giants of the world, can get to work solving the bigger mysteries, which right now is why our hit squads from the future coming back to the present to try and kill the Maker. Obviously, young Tony is pretty shocked and appalled to hear this, that everything he thought he knew about the world is one giant lie, and that the Maker and his acolytes have basically been manipulating all of history since the very beginning. Howard is also having a philosophical conundrum right now too. He loved his friend Obadiah, but at the same time he questions how much he knew about the evil that the Maker was enacting. Howard also needs to plan his next move very carefully. The Maker has asked for his assistance, and he's clearly not the sort of man he can just turn down. Howard also thinks that maybe he could try and fight against the Maker and his cadre, but to do so means basically fighting the entire world, a fight that he'll no doubt lose. Still though, young Tony Stark has faith that his father Howard will do the right thing, and Howard is even more dedicated to doing what's right to ensure a safe, bright future for his son. Even if that means going to work for the Maker right now and trying to get the Immortus engine up and running again. To do this, the Maker takes him to the deepest, darkest part of his facility. A place where apparently all the real magic happens, and a place where the Maker ends up sticking his most troublesome prisoners. It's here that Howard ends up coming face to face with his lab assistant, a man with a name that will be all too familiar, a man named Reed Richards, but a man who currently resides under a metal mask that looks exactly like something Dr. Doom would wear. Now, that might be where the main story ends, but we actually get an interesting little stinger. We actually flash to the far future, wherein we see a Crystallian craft that is home to all those Avengers clones who have been traveling through time to attack the Maker. Apparently their numbers have already been restocked, and they say they're stronger and more driven than ever to destroy the Maker. But who exactly is cloning the heroes, and who's sending them back in time? Well, the answer probably should have been a lot more obvious when I stop and think about it, but it turns out the perpetrator is none other than Kang, but no Kang we've ever seen before. For starters, this guy actually has the Immortus logo on his chest, but moreover than that, his suit very clearly, obviously obviously looks like an Iron Man-esque design. Ultimate Kang over here is pissed at the Maker for messing with time with the Immortus engine the way he's been doing, saying that no man should be able to have that much power over time, well, unless you're Kang, that is. And so that was Ultimate Invasion issue number 3, everybody, and once again, Jonathan Hickman continues to be a real master of subverting my expectations. It was nice to kind of slow things down a little bit and get a better understanding of how exactly the Maker has set up this world to his liking, corrupting regular heroes and super beings by making them feel like gods untouchable by the common man, and then just arresting and imprisoning those who won't go along with his plans. Certainly sounds like something a vengeful Kang would do, trying to drag all of the once proud heroes down to his level. Having Kang be the villain too is also one of those twists I feel like I probably should have called early. Again, Immortus, Reed Richards, the Maker, they all share this weird and interesting lineage. Might be a little too early to call, but what with him having an Iron Man suit and everything, wouldn't it be interesting if evil future Kang actually turns out to be young Tony Stark? This also kind of tracks too, because there was actually an Ultimate version of Kang in the old Ultimate comics, but it was actually revealed to be Sue Richards that time. Also kind of weird that this is the penultimate issue in a 4-part series. I guess this really is a prologue for everything that's coming later with those 3 other Ultimate spin-off books we're getting. Still really interested in the bigger mysteries and can't wait to see how it all shakes out in the finale. Overall, I would give this one another very positive 8 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.